For my first end of the year video, I reached out to developers and publishers on who would like to give their games another chance in the spotlight before 2018 finishes up. These games in particular are also those that I missed out on as well for whatever reasons. So it's also a chance for me to check out some potential Game of the Year nominees for my various projects like on here or with my writing at The Gamer. I did this last year as well, and liked it so much that I thought I'd give it another shot. These will be quick takes, sort of describing what these games are, and just some brief thoughts. Okay, so here we go, 6 games that you may have overlooked as well. First up, we have Into the Breach, which is a fast-paced strategy RPG. You time travel back before this alien race of bugs destroys the world. Time travel is part of the story, but it's also a mechanic. You can use this power to see an enemy's next move in battle, which adds another element of strategy. Armed in your mech suits or other high-tech gear, you'll battle bugs randomly, as this is sort of a roguelike. Simply go from island to island, exterminate as many bugs as possible, while trying to prevent as much public damage, and that's about it. If you fail, you just rewind the clock and start again. The maps are small and short enough where I found it addicting to keep playing in small bites, especially since I dug into the Switch version. However, the lack of continuation in terms of rewards, even after failing, is minimal, and definitely left me wanting just a little more. Next up, we have Pato, which is basically an homage to Punch-Out. After a sabotaged fight, your goal is to try and reach the top of your weird fighting apartment complex to figure out what exactly happened to you in the beginning. Besides the familiar strategic boxing matches, which are great, a lot of the game has you exploring for clues or playing weird mini-games. Moving around is a bit awkward, as is the gameplay overall. I would have liked less adventure game in my Punch-Out homage. That said, the dialogue is weirdly charming, and the black and white manga inspired visuals are great, and again, those fights truly do shine. I just wish it was a bit quicker to get to them. Moving on, we have The Gardens Between, which reminded me of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. 2 best friends are hanging out in their treehouse when time stops and they're warped away to an island of memories. You don't control either character directly, instead you can either rewind time or make it go forward. Small puzzles will pop up hindering progress until you figure what point in time you have to bridge in order to affect the future or past to then move forward. I know, like the concept of time itself, this might sound complicated, but it's super easy once you check out a few levels. I'm not much of a puzzle guy myself, but the visuals, snippets of revelations, and ease of use all had me enthralled. Next, in The Messenger, you are not the hero. Instead, you are tasked as a messenger to climb a mountain in order to deliver a message to the actual hero, who will then stop a demon from taking over the world. That said, you're still a badass ninja through and through, and if it isn't obvious, the game is a big homage to Ninja Gaiden and ninja games like it from the NES era. While hard, I found it strikes a good balance like Shovel Knight. It's mostly a straight up action platformer, that is until you reach said mountain, where it then warps into a SNES era game and also a Metroidvania at that. Which may sound like a spoiler, but it was advertised heavily in the trailers, so I feel comfortable sharing it here. Plus, one of the best things about the game, besides the crisp pixel art, is the music. It is one of the best of the year, hands down. Now let's get to Timespinner, which is more of a true Metroidvania compared to The Messenger, with it being more on the Vania side of things. That is to say, it's more than a run and gunner as you level up, get new equipment, and spells. The story follows Lunaeus, who is about to be sworn into your family of time cops, basically a family of time cops that is, when an evil empire screws everything up and sends you on a high-flying adventure through time. There's nothing credible about it, which is to say it's not doing anything new for the genre. That's not to sound dismissive, because I really liked it. It's a solid game in a style of Metroidvania I've been craving for a while. For my last entry, I'm going to tack on a PlayStation VR game that I got on the cusp of posting this. The basic gist is that you are this Game Boy era heroine whose world is being ripped apart. You find a young schoolgirl in reality who can free your kingdom via a game cartridge. It's a very 80s concept, so the bulk of the game is you sitting in various environments and playing a few different game types. For example, the first one is very much Mega Man. There are also things in the real world that can affect your gameplay, like in the first stage where you're in a classroom and your teacher can interrupt you, which is an added mechanic I didn't really care for because it needlessly complicated what was already a cool idea. I don't want to die in the real world, let alone in the game because of that. So it can be frustrating, but I did like it as a cool VR game, you just kinda have to be patient with it. And that's it! I got lucky that these 6 games just so happened to be great. Some I liked more than others, of course, but all in all, you should check these out if these look at all interesting to you. A very special thanks to the devs and publishers that got back to me for this. It was a blast. And with that, I bid you all happy gaming and look forward to more 2018 wrap-ups in the coming days and weeks ahead. Bye! My name is Tristan, and you've been watching ReActionExaminer, wherein I do my best to create interesting videos to entertain and educate you fine folks. Be sure to subscribe, that helped me out a lot. And if you want to check out more, be sure to read my work over on The Gamer, wherein I write fun little listicles. You can also drop by my personal website, GameJerk, wherein I post other articles and reviews. All these links and more can be found in the description below. Thanks, and see you all next time.